Please get ready for the first group and prepare your presentation today. I think I already told you about our meeting for every weeks, right? Saya sudah katakan ya, berikan instruksi kan bagaimana pertemuan kita, perkuliahan kita setiap minggunya ya. Ya, oke.
Ya, Miss.
Oke, please for the first group. Iya, boleh silakan. Mana grup pertama? Boleh saya tahu yang mana grup pertama?
Wait,
Iya,
Miss. Sedang proses share screen. Nah,
oke.
that's it.
PJ-nya yang mana ya? Before?
Eh, saya Miss.
Oke, Andi. Ketika nanti perkuliahannya dimulai, tolong catat siapa orang-orang yang mengajukan pertanyaan dan juga siapa yang menjawab untuk sesi pertama ini ya, boleh ya? Oke, thank you Andi.
Baik, Miss.
Not at home. And where are you now? Just for information, Miss. Okay. I hope the situation and your condition over there is allowed to join our meeting for today. Yeah. Okay. Please, for the first group, present your presentation for tonight.
And Avirati Akhat. This session will not only be
Okay, I can hear your voice, but it's too quietly small. Mm, yeah. Do you have any problem? Is Catherine the only person who in charge for the first group?
Okay, Miss. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hmm.
I'm here to open the presentation from my group. Here we will present a topic with the theme cultural diversity and negotiation.
Okay.
This is the members of our group.
Wait, not this is, but these are the members of
Yeah.
our group.
This one.
Okay, first is culture matters in negotiation for several reasons. First, it prevents miscommunication. For example, in some cultures, when people say yes, it doesn't always mean they agree. It can simply mean they are listening. And of course, without cultural awareness, this can cause misunderstandings. The second one is build trust. Culture really shapes trust. In Asia or Latin America, relationships matter more than contracts. So taking time to connect isn't wasted, but it's what makes the deal possible. And the third one is enhance creativity. Cultural diversity boosts creativity. Different perspectives bring fresh ideas, helping negotiators find more innovative solutions that benefit the both sides.
And what is cultural diversity? Cultural diversity refers to the diversity of cultural within a society. This term refers to the differences in values, tradition, languages, beliefs, and customs, and even ways of life shared by different groups of people. This diversity arises because each community has a distinct historical background and experiences. With cultural diversity, we can learn to respect each other, understand differences, and work together without losing our individual identities. Cultural diversity also enriches our perspective on the world and serves as a strength for building a more inclusive society. This one.
Okay, next slide is what is negotiation? So before we talk about cultural diversity's negotiation, let's make it clear first what is negotiation itself. So negotiation is a communication process between two or more parties aiming to reach an agreement. It focuses on balancing different interests through discussion, compromise, and mutual respect. So it's basically about communication to reach an agreement, but not just about winning or losing, but finding a solution that benefits both sides. Okay, next.
Now, when culture meets negotiation, it influences two big areas, the process and the mindset. The process factors, communication style, direct versus indirect. Different cultures communicate differently. In low context places like the US or Germany, people speak directly. But in high context cultures like Japan or Saudi Arabia, meaning often come from tone, body language, or even what's left unsaid. The second one is relationship building, task-oriented versus relationship-oriented. In task-oriented culture, like the US or Germany, people go straight to business. But in relationship-oriented places like China or Brazil, trust and personal connection come first before the deal. And third is time perception, strict versus flexible. In monochronic cultures like the US or Northern Europe, people stick to schedule and focus on thing one at a time. But in polychronic cultures like Latin America or the Middle East, time is flexible, multitasking is normal, and relationship come first. And for the mindset factors, first is goal, contract versus relationship. In deal-focused cultures like the US or Germany, the goal is to close to the contract. But in relationship-focused cultures like Japan or China, the real goal is building a long-term relationship, and the contract is just one piece of it. Risk tolerance, fast versus careful decision. Cultures like the US or Singapore are fine with quick decision and some understanding. But in places like Japan or French, people more want clear rules and structure before deciding. And last is form of agreement. In the US, people often see a contract at the end of negotiation. But in China or India, contract is more like the start of a partnership that can evolve over time.
Okay, the next slide is key cultural factors. The first is communication style, direct versus indirect. In the US or Germany, people value honest and clarity, but in Japan or Saudi Arabia, communication is indirect to avoid conflict and maintain harmony. The second is individualism versus collectivism. In the US or Australia, people decide independently and value personal achievement. But in Indonesia or China, decisions are group-based and harmony is prioritized. The third is power distance. In Denmark or New Zealand, people are treated equally and subordinate can question boss. In Malaysia or France, hierarchy is respected and leaders make the decision. The time orientation. Monochronic culture follows strict schedule, while polychronic culture see time as flexible, multitask, and focus on relationship. The last one is risk tolerance. In Singapore or the US, people are comfortable with change and risk. In Japan or France, people prefer stability, rules, and detailed planning.
Right, next is real life example. A German company negotiates with a Brazilian company about building a new factory. Like the German company arrived on time, but the Brazilian company arrived a little bit late. Germany didn't want to talk much, but Brazil approached the situation with a conversation. That's why once both sides understand the cultural difference, they adjust. The Germans allow more personal conversation, and the Brazilians follow the agenda more closely. This helped them both reach a good deal.
Next is how to negotiate successfully across cultures. At first, research the other party's cultural background and communication style. You can do online research, read some books, or find someone from the other cultures. The second is build trust and rapport through personal connection and active listening. You use clear language and avoid the complicated language. Make sure both of you having the same understanding of what being discussed. The last one is adapt your communication, be patient and respectful.
Okay, next is to takeaway message. So the main message I want to leave here is in negotiation, cultural diversity matters. Respecting and adapting to different cultural values leads to more effective, fair, and successful outcomes. So cultural diversity is not a barrier, but actually a strength. If we respect and adapt, our negotiation will be more effective and fair for everyone. Okay, so that's all from our group. The key point is respecting cultural diversity is the key to successful negotiation. Thank you for listening, and we're open for any question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the first group for your interactive presentation for tonight. Please, for the audience, don't be hesitant to mention any kind of question regarding this topic. Anyone, please? Okay, we have our first three audience, and okay, let's start with Saskia. Saskia, please.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I want to ask,
Please be louder, Saskia.
thank you for your presentation. I want to ask, Japan is known as one of the most advanced countries in the technology and is often called the country of the future. If Indonesia can build cooperation with Japan, it will give us many benefits. Now imagine you are a negotiator from Indonesia meeting a Japanese company. What strategy shall you use to adjust to the cultural differences during the negotiation? Thank you.
Okay. For the first group, which one do you prefer? Collect the question first, or you want to answer that directly?
Miss, would it be all right if we collect all the questions first, then answer them afterward?
Okay, so we can continue for the next audience. We have Anida.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for the opportunity. So, from the presentation, we learned that communication plays one of the central role in cross-cultural negotiations. So, with that in mind, how do different communication styles, whether direct or indirect, affect not only the clarity of negotiation but also the trust and respect between the parties involved? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anida. Mutia Ramadhani.
Okay, thank you, Miss. My question for group one. Do you think adapting too much to another culture during negotiation can weaken your own position? Why or why not? Thank you.
Okay, 3% for the first session. Is that okay to you, guys?
Totally okay, Miss.
Okay, so please take your time. Mhm. Wait, yeah, guys. Yeah, we we need to give them space so they can collect the answer of each of you questions.
Sorry, Miss, is that okay? We discuss first.
How long that you will be answer?
1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
Thank you,
Okay.
Miss.
Okay, can we start for the next 3% first?
Sure, Miss.
Kayla Felicia Hasana. Yeah, Kayla, do you have any question? We cannot hear your voice. Maybe you should put off your earphone. Okay, Catherine, can we start?
Is it only 3 questions, Miss?
3 question for the first session. We can continue the next audience for the next session. Okay. We cannot hear your voice. Felicia, you sound quietly. Maybe you should type your message during the chat box. Okay, let's restart, Catherine. Mhm. Are you ready? Are you ready, guys, for the first group?
First already,
Okay,
Miss.
Miss. Let me answer the question one from Kia. The core point in the question is if we are a negotiator from Indonesia dealing with a Japanese company, what strategy should us apply to accommodate cultural differences? Okay, let me answer the question. So if I were an Indonesian negotiator with a Japanese company, I would first show respect for their culture by being polite, since Japanese companies value discipline and harmony. So showing respect is really important in here. Moreover, I will provide detailed information because decisions in Japan are usually made carefully. So in this way, the strategy can build trust and make the negotiation process smoother. So we can build trust in the long term. Yeah, more and less the answer like this. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer.
Okay, if I were you, Saskia, I will ask more further. Seems like when Japanese very on time person, I will like to ask, can you describe more example more factual for this case? Because we are from Indonesia, we know Indonesian culture, habitual activities, kind of like, you know, seems like we have like a gap different with Japanese culture. So can you make like real example for that? If you are Indonesian, meet like investor from Japan or maybe China, they like have similar culture maybe. How if?
Sorry, Miss, suaranya ke rendem.
Okay, let me. If we are come from Indonesia, meet investor from Japan, like we also know Japan people have like habitual like culture. Their culture very on time, and our Indonesian like not really focused to the on time point, right? And if you are from Indonesia, meet like this kind of person, what will you do to impress their mind? To say okay with your negotiation process. Do you get my point?
Can you give me a minute to answer?
No, it's not you, Saskia. I'm pointing this question to first group.
Oh,
Paham maksudnya Safira dan teman-teman?
paham.
Iya, kita ini kan orang Indonesia. Kita tahu orang Indonesia itu bagaimana dengan perhitungan waktu gitu ya. Sementara orang Jepang dan orang Cina itu sangat seperti apa dengan perhitungan waktu. Nah, jika saya adalah orang Jepang atau orang Cina tersebut, apa yang akan kalian lakukan? Atau jika kalian adalah memang benar-benar ingin dealing dengan orang Cina, maka apa yang harus kalian lakukan? Berikan saya contoh yang lebih faktual dan lebih sederhana, tapi benar-benar kejadian di kejadian sehari-hari. Itu maksudnya.
Okay, Miss, maybe I will adjust the difference of time. Difference of time or Indonesian and China or Japan like this. So, and I will adjust with discipline and being polite.
What kind of polite? Can you like make it more like example like this. If you have like how to say, you both of you agree to meet at 10 o'clock in the morning, like it's just example. And please make sure that you not gonna be late on even only 5 minutes. Ini kan lebih contohnya lebih apa ya, kalau saya katakan lebih real gitu loh. Buat orang Cina, buat orang Jepang tidak melakukan hal seperti ini itu lebih merasa dihargai. Jadi kalau mau mengatakan kata lebih polite itu dalam sisi yang seperti apa gitu loh. Sementara kalau kita orang Indonesia yang seperti apa, bagaimana? Itu maksudnya. Oke, paham nggak Safira dan teman-teman? Iya, apalagi khususnya ini Jakarta loh. Bener nggak? Iya, Jakarta jam 10 bisa jadi nanti jam 10.30 gitu kan. Karena orang Jakarta kadang kurang memperhitungkan ketepatan waktu. Alasannya pasti ada jam macet. Nah, di orang Cina dan di orang Jepang ini nggak bisa jadi alasan. Kenapa? Mereka nggak mau tahu, kita udah janjian jam 10, ya kan? Kita udah janjian 10 jam 10. Ya, kamu pastinya harus memperhitungkan plan A dan plan B. Mereka nggak akan mau tahu Anda itu atau Anda dengan alasan apapun gitu ya, mereka nggak akan marah, tapi mereka akan menyimpan kesan itu di dalam hati mereka. Harusnya Anda perhitungkan. Paling tidak, Anda memperhitungkan 1 jam sebelum Anda eh, apa namanya waktu yang ditentukan, Anda juga harus memperhitungkan paling tidak Anda sudah di sini setengah jam sebelum kita mulai meeting. Itu pasti dalam benak mereka. Jadi itu adalah contoh-contoh yang menurut saya lebih real gitu loh. Kalau mau dikatakan menghormati kebiasaan dalam konteks yang seperti apa gitu maksudnya. Oke, untuk kelompok 1.
Oke, Miss.
Next. Okay, Catherine, who's next?
Next question from Lida, and it will be answered with my friend.
We're gonna answer from the next question.
I'll answer Anida, Miss. That was a great question. Difference in communication style is really affect with clarity and trust. In their culture, people value clear and straightforward message. So they see this as an efficient. But in their cultures, being too direct might feel rude, and they prefer subtle ways to show respect. If both sides don't understand these differences, miscommunication can happen and trust may break down. But when negotiators adapt and respect the other style, it actually builds stronger trust and mutual respect because both parties feel understood. Was my explanation sound clear and answer your question?
Is enough, Catherine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue to the next participant or audience.
Okay, let me answer the Mutia question. So the question is, do you think adapting too much to another culture during negotiation can weaken your own position, right? The answer is adapting to another culture during negotiation can sometimes feel like it might weaken your position, but actually depends on how you adapt on your goals. So you can know your values, and limit. Be clear about what aspect of your culture, style, or goals. Okay, that's it, Mutia.
Okay, Mutia.
Okay, Miss.
Is it enough? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start for the next session. We are open for the next participant to mention their question. Please. We have Muhammad Zuhri.
Okay, wait, Miss. Um, I would like to ask, in high-stakes global negotiation, should cultural adaptation have limits to prevent loss of objectivity and fairness? If so, where should those limits be drawn? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Muhammad Zuhri. Next, Naila.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for the opportunity. So my question is, do you guys agree that cultural diversity in a negotiation team can enhance creativity and outcomes, or does it slow down the process? And please explain your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, explain your opinion. Thank you, Andi.
Okay, thank you, Miss, for your permission. I want to ask for group one. If there is a failure to reach an agreement in negotiation with cultural diversity, what do you guys think is the most likely reasons? Thank you. That's all my questions.
Okay, Kayla, you are the last. Hmm, Kayla. Hmm. Kayla, please type your question. Only type, okay. Think it's better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Masih nggak bisa, ya benar. Thank you, Miss, for the permission. Before that, thank you to the group one for the presentation. I want to ask, how does cultural diversity influence negotiation styles? And why is it important to be aware of these differences? Okay. Thank you, Kayla. I'll give you 5 minutes for this. We have 4 questions. Is that okay for you to discuss
Yes, Miss.
for 5 minutes?
Yes, Miss.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, let's be wait for the 5 minutes. Mm, 2 minutes left. Okay, time's up, guys. Please prepare your ini
Okay, Miss.
statement.
Okay. Thank you, Zuri, for the question. Before I answer the question, I want to read the question first. In high-stakes global negotiations, should cultural adaptation have limits to prevent loss of objectivity and fairness? If so, where should those limits be drawn? Okay, I think from that question, I think yes, cultural adaptation is important in big global negotiations, but I think it should not go too far. If it does, it can make one side look weak, like ignore ethics or create unfair results. The limit should be drawn like ethics. Don't accept the bribery, unfair treatment, or exploitation just because they are normal in another culture. And then fairness. Both sides should adjust, not only one. I think that's it for the answer. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer, Ahnaf.
Okay. Go on with the next participant.
Okay, thank you for the question, Naila. So Naila asked, do you agree that cultural diversity in a negotiation team can enhance creativity and outcomes, or does it slow down the process? And explain your opinion. Thanks for the question. Let me give it a try. I totally agree that diversity makes results better. Different cultural perspective keep the group from groupthink and push everyone to think more creatively. And sure, it might slow things down at first because people need time to understand each other's viewpoints, but in the end, it leads to stronger decision. The final agreement usually works better for international clients too, since it's shaped by a wider mix of insight. Does my explanation sound clear and answer your question, Naila?
Yes, thank you for the answer, Catherine.
Thank you.
Next.
Okay, I will answer Rasha's question, which it says, if there's failure to reach an agreement in negotiation with cultural diversity, what do you think are the most likely reasons? There are so many reasons, but I will only tell you 6 points in here. The first one is because of different communication styles. The second one is because of different approaches to conflict. The third one is because power distance and hierarchy. The fourth one is because of lack of cultural awareness or sensitivity. The fifth one is because of values or priorities clash. And the last one is because different attitudes towards time. I think that's all I can answer. Thank you.
Okay, do you feel satisfied with the answer, guys? Pertanyaan dari siapa itu tadi?
From Rasha, Miss.
Oke,
Yes,
mana
that's enough.
enough?
Thank you.
Yes.
Next, the last question from no. Andi, from Andi.
Sorry, Miss. Andi itu Rasya.
Oh, okay.
It's same.
The last question from Kayla.
Okay, thank you, Kayla, for the question. The Kayla question is, how does cultural diversity influence negotiation style, and why is it important to be aware of this difference? The answer is that different culture have varying communication norms, attitude toward conflict, decision-making process, and concept of time and relationship. So without awareness, you might misunderstand intention or message, leading to confusion or mistake. Is it enough for you, Kayla?
Where is Kayla? Can you type the message during the chat box? Using chat box. Enough, thank you. Okay, guys. Please close statement.
All right, that brings us to the end of our presentation. So what can we take away from this? Cultural diversity plays a very important role in negotiation. By understanding differences in communication styles, time perception, relationships, power distance, and risk tolerance, we can avoid misunderstandings, build stronger trust, and can create better agreements. We hope this presentation helped us to see all that negotiation is not about the deal itself, but about respecting culture and people. Thank you, Michaela, and thank you everyone for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Catherine, and for the group 1 for the presentation, and thank you for the audience for the questions. I think this could be the last session for our lecturing class for tonight. But still, I have maybe I have a task for you that you can finish this task tonight by 10 p.m. Okay. I just delivered 3 questions for you based on case-based learning, so you can deliver your own opinion through the 3 questions on it. Is that okay for you guys? Send me your task during the G Drive link. Please, Andy, open the G Drive link so I can access the answer of you, and the answer of you anytime I want to see the answer. Okay, do you get my point?
Yes, I get it, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any question? No? Enough? Okay. Maybe you can deliver or submit the task by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Okay? Not tonight, but tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Okay? Oke, Rasya.
Oke, Miss.
Jadi kumpulkan ke saya bukan malam ini, tapi besok aja jam 8 pagi. Ya? Aman?
Oke, Miss.
Iya.
I get it.
Karena ini saya perhatikan sudah lumayan malam ya teman-teman. Mungkin waktunya kalian untuk istirahat juga. Karena ini juga merupakan kelas pengganti. Jadi besok saja kalau begitu. Gitu ya. Mungkin ya jam 8 selambat-lambatnya saya terima jam 9 saja ya teman-teman. Oke. Kalau begitu, thank you for your attention and you can continue your activity after this class off. Okay, please take care of yourself and see you on the next meeting, guys.
Okay, Miss,
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, I want to ask. Untuk pertanyaan itu akan dikirim nanti ya?
Kumpulin aja dulu. Nanti saya minta mungkin akan ketika pertanyaan yang malam ini ya. Malam ini saya kasih.
Oke.
Saat ini juga saya kasih.
Oke.
Ya. Iya. Dan PPT-nya boleh saya minta dan dibagikan kepada teman-teman.
Siap, Miss.
Boleh
Nanti
dibagikan
jadi-
sekarang nggak teman-teman supaya
Oke.
gampang. Teman-teman, saya mohon maaf sebelumnya ya kalau saya minta gantinya malam, karena kalau nanti menunggu lagi penjadwalan berikutnya, saya takutnya teman-teman juga sibuk dengan dosen di mata kuliah lain, gitu ya teman-teman ya. Iya, saya tahu teman-teman juga capek, tapi ya nggak apa-apa lah ya kalau kita optimalkan kurang lebih di beberapa menit yang sudah kita lalui ini, supaya teman-teman ya. Yang penting tidak ada kelas yang bolong seperti itu. Capek ya teman-teman ya. Ya
Gak, Miss, kita
udah di off nggak kayak ininya rekamannya, nanti kerekam kita ngomong nih.